Today we're going to review the Hitachi U26. It's got 100 hours on it. It's a pretty new machine. Just hired it in for this job, so let's see what she's got against the good old JCB, and particularly I think comparable with this machine is the Kubota U27, because they're both kind of compact radius or zero tail swing design, towable, and both in theory have comparable specs as well. But we'll run through that. So we're looking at the Hitachi 26U, which I've got on hire, and it's done like 120 hours or so, so she's pretty new. Sort of a comparable machine really to my 8026. It's towable, it's just over 2.7 tonne. It's quite a compact radius, which I'm not a massive fan of, but I understand that, you know, a lot of the time where these machines go, it's all about space. That's why you've got a small machine. Hitachis are renowned for having good quality components and lasting forever, and certainly their resale values reflect that. But we'll see what she drives like. She's got a few little features. The cab, my first sort of impressions of it, there's this like a weird sort of step floor thing going on. I'm not sure what that's about. It's not too bad when you're getting in it, but getting out of it, it's just right where you want to put your foot. The other thing I've noticed in here is there's nowhere to put like the grease gun or a rag or sort of any little bits. Under here is all bolted up and has stuff in it, and this thing under here, she has got a key to open it. There's no room for anything in there. It's just like access to valves and solenoids and stuff. Seat's quite nice, comfy enough. It's quite a nice operating position. The windscreen is a bit heavy to lift up. There's no like gas assisted struts or anything, but you know, it's got a heater, and what more do you want really? Little cab. This wing mirror gets in the way when you try and get in and out of it. It's a bit annoying if you actually want it there. A lot of people bend them out of the way, but what's the point of having a wing mirror on if it hits the door where you actually want it positioned? Seems like a nice machine. It's 1.5 metres wide, which is pretty comparable to others. It's got a little Yanmar engine in the back of it, and they're renowned for decent quality. But it's 20 horsepower. It's just fairly comparable to sort of like a U27 Kubota and others. Yeah, initial impressions sort of reversing it about seem alright, but we'll see. Got good access here to clean your filters out and stuff, which is quite nice. And obviously the battery, good access for that. But like, what's all this about? It's just like a bit of plastic zip tied over some solenoids. I mean, if you don't want water to get in it, I think you probably could do a better job than that, Hitachi, but what do I know? I mean, it is in a position where they're going to get jet washed, so I don't know, I just feel like that could have been a little bit better. Access for, you can get to your oil dipstick and fuel filter and things. It's not too bad. Oil filter's down there. I wouldn't want to change the fan belt on it. I don't think you can get anywhere near it, but maybe the cab comes sort of easier through the cab or something. That's probably why there's no toolbox or anything. It's sort of a compromise on these machines really. But you can at least get to the air filter and do daily checks and stuff. Leave the rest to the mechanics, eh? That all comes down all right, which is not too bad. It's the other thing I like about it actually. It's got good access for fuel, which a lot of manufacturers seem to be struggling with at the moment. You can actually get a jerry can to that. It's got a decent like wide mouth, so you don't spill it everywhere. So that's quite a nice feature. Yeah, well, when we fire it up, we'll see what she's like. I have noticed there's no like pin end greasing, so you can't just like go along and just do all the pins. There is on the bucket end. It's got them there, but like, you know, just generally you have to sort of grease it the old school way, which is all right, but I mean, not hard to put, you know, a grease nipple on the end. It does make it a lot easier to maintain these things. Piping's quite neat. I mean, yes, they haven't changed a lot, I don't think, these Hitachis from 10-15 years ago really. Hasn't got, specs wise, I mean, I don't want to read off the spec list, but just sort of have a look at comparing it to the U27, which is probably its real sort of competitor really. U-swing, you know, same sort of Hitachi versus Kubota. This one's got a 20 horsepower engine, say Yanmar, which should be pretty good. It's only got a max dig of 4.6, or it'll go a little bit deeper with a quick hitch on it, I guess, but that's not, so that's the kind of max dig reach. Max dig depth, sorry, is 2.6 meters, which is not really that good actually for this class. I mean, the 8026 will go down to 3 meters plus, even without the Encon on, and according to the internet, the Kubota will dig to 2.8, and again that'll be without a sort of quick hitch, so you probably get nearly 3 meters if you really pushed the little U27 Kubota. The Kubota's got 1 horsepower more. It's pretty irrelevant really. Dipper breakout wise, which is the only one that Hitachi list, they reckon this has got a dipper tear out of 15 kilonewtons, whereas the Kubota's only on 12 kilonewtons, which I'd agree with, to be honest. Having driven one, even trying to move a loose piler type one about, it doesn't really want to pull through it. So this should have a bit of punch to it. The Kubota is a little bit lighter, like 2.6 ton. This is its 2.7, which both are obviously towable. Just, you know, you'd be pushing your weight, I think, if you had a heavier trailer and a bit of mud on it, and then a few buckets, you know, and a can of diesel and a bit of gear. You'd be up near probably 2.8, 2.9 ton, I'd say. So you'd want a lighter trailer. It's my in-suspension one over there, which will take it, but you know, you just got to be a bit careful. Whereas the Kubota, you get that 100 kilos more, you at least get your 3 buckets on with that and be fairly comfortable. You'd always be within the weight limit. Yeah, we'll see what she's like inside the cab. Getting in's all right. They're not a bad cab actually, really, in here. As I say, the windscreen was sort of heavy to lift up. There's no real gas strut and assisting on that. But you do have, and this is a gripe of mine in the JCB certainly, a heater that you can actually point at the windscreen, which is obviously where you want it, when you can see what you're bloody doing in the rain. And you can warm your tootsies up down here as well with that one. It's not so bad. Controls, I mean, it's obviously minging. It's done 120 hours, and someone has obviously just, God knows what they do with these hire machines, but there you go. That's life, isn't it? The controls are simple. It's got a quick track button here, it's all right. Heaters, 3-stage, bit of wash wipe. Left hand side, you've got your radio, which actually works, which for a hire machine is a right result. And yeah, track pedals, I'd say they're usable. You know, it's a small little machine, what do you expect? The cab's not bad, you'd spend a day in here okay. There's a bit of room for everything, so yeah, visibility out the front. You can see pretty much all around it, actually, in every direction. I don't know why it has mirrors on it, because you don't really need them, because you can see, I think it's a metre high, a metre away, so that's all you need. But yeah, we'll give her a go, we'll fire her up and see how she does. The old Hitachi is alright. It's not too noddy, you can shake it about, she's not too bad. It's got a decent sized bucket on it as well from White's, which is quite nice. I mean, it's already lost a bolt on its cutting edge, which is a bit of a shame, but otherwise I quite like the idea of that sort of replaceable edge. The bucket should outlast the machine, I thought. Do a fair few hours with that before you wear it out. I've been doing a bit of sort of backfilling around this path edge. I'm basically just sort of bodging it because I don't really want to spend any more money on topsoil for a path in a field, but she's alright. It's quite a sharp machine, like it's very sensitive, and the bucket ram is fiercely quick, especially like look, that, it's really sort of aggressive, so you have to be a bit gentle with it. That might be because it's still fairly new, you know, she's done 100 odd hours. It's quite a nice place to spend a shift, got good visibility. The arm offsets at, God, nearly 90 degrees I'd have thought, sort of to the left, and about 45 degrees to the right, which isn't bad. That'll get you, into most places I'd have thought you'd need to. It does suffer a little bit for reach. It doesn't seem to go as far as other machines, and obviously its dig depth is also massively affected by that, as I said earlier. So it's quite it seems powerful enough for what I'm doing here. I haven't done any real sort of hard digging with it. It's unfortunately not the sort of job I'm doing, but it'll flow share okay. You can sort of track and move the arm about, and it doesn't seem to affect it too much. So that's quite nice. I mean, modern machines really should be able to all do that now. And it seems like Hitachi have caught up with that. Yeah, it's not really. It's not setting my world on fire. It's all right, as I say, you spend a comfortable enough day in here. The cab's pretty roomy, and legroom and stuff's pretty good. The track pedals are definitely usable, which is nice. But there's nothing like you go, oh, you know what? That's really well sort of thought of or designed. It sort of just feels. I said, like with the mirror. It just sort of feels like they've sort of stuck something on there, and haven't really thought about then how the door opens. And if you need to open the door, you have to like move the mirror. But how do you do that? It's a chicken and the egg situation. You obviously, why would you have to move the mirror from where you really want it to open the door? It just seems stupid. So there's sort of a bit of that really. They've still got the pipes going up the boom like they always sort of did. And there's nothing wrong with that, but Kubota, it's a clear arm on the U27. It all runs up the middle, which might be a total pain in the backside when it comes to actually maintaining the thing at 3,000 hours when one blows. But maybe it's not. Maybe they're okay. Maybe they're all one piece, and you can just sort of pull them out and replace them. Sort of pull one through with the old one. It just sort of feels a little bit still old-fashioned to me. And in this age where cabs are getting better, machines have moved on a bit, and this sort of still feels like it did for 10 years ago, really. So the Hitachi 26U, it's not a bad machine. To be honest, between that and a U27 Kubota, I'd probably pick the Kubota. I think it's got a bigger dig depth. It's not quite as powerful. This isn't bad on power, but I think there's a lot more. It's just nicer to operate. It's got modern things like a decent cup holder and fuel in front of you and stuff like that. That this machine just feels a little bit dated, to be honest, but not a bad machine, and I certainly wouldn't turn one down if there's a decent deal on them. But I think if I was choosing,